Hello everybody and welcome to February's edition of the Bookish Club for Leaders. Today we're going to look at Erin Meyer's The Culture Map, which is a book that I have used and abused. So it is a well-loved book and it has stood the test of time for me because it's really simple and really insightful for how we look at cultures within workplaces, cultures across the world. So we're in a time where we're working across time zones, we stretch across languages, we stretch across cultural norms, and that can be within just the one organisation, within just the one community. Actually, all of us now are tapping into different experiences, oftentimes having people from different places working with us. We can assume that we're speaking the same, and we can assume that we mean the same, but we're not. The biggest challenges in global collaboration rarely come from strategy or intelligence or even competence. They come from these invisible cultural defaults of how do we communicate, how do we make decisions, how we give and receive feedback, how we build trust, and how we understand leadership. So the book, I think, is really beautifully written as it goes from anecdote to anecdote to anecdote, looking at the different elements of this model that Erin Meyer has developed with her research over the years. And some of the application pieces are whether it's learning to read the air in Japan. She talks about high context and low context communication. Recognizing when a decision is final, or is it final? Is it the final decision? Or actually, is it decision with a capital D? So if we're working with Germans, they tend to make decisions with a capital D. If we're working with Americans, we tend to think it's negotiable and keep on going. And all of these are our fundamental ways that we have learned how the world works around us. These can be set from the first languages that we speak. These can be set by how we're parented and the communities we grew up in. And these are definitely set by our first experiences of workplaces. And it's really easy and simple to think the person is getting it wrong, whereas actually what we've not done is unpick the system for how that is tripping us up, blocking us, or slowing us down. So today's session is designed to help us recognise some cultural patterns and walk away with some practical strategies to make multicultural teamwork smoother, kinder, and more effective. Because whatever we do in life, there are decisions to be made. And I think the first one is capital D or little d. If you come together and make a decision, is it done and dusted? Or is it still open and negotiable, and can you come back to that? Much more, I think it was a Japanese approach, is it takes seemingly forever to get to the decision, but it's very ground up, it's consensual and extremely hierarchical. It lands on the most senior person in the decision-making chain's table. The decision's pretty much done, and they are ratifying, they are sense checking, they are doing all of the iceberg spotting at the last minute. It takes a while, but then you don't have to get buy-in. And decisions, once they are there, a big D decision, they're done, they're dusted, and move on. So I love this book. I've forgotten how much I love this book until I came back to it again. And I think it is a broad brushstroke way of unpicking assumptions and helping us to get clearer, faster, and remove some of the really common roadblocks that we find in organisational culture and leadership. So I think that the fundamental question for the culture map is culture intelligence now just a basic competence? Or is it a competitive advantage? And my argument is it's a bit of both. But it becomes a competitive advantage in the hands of a leader who can turn that insight into timely, effective judgment. So it's cultural intelligence as a baseline now for working globally, but it becomes the advantage when you use it intentionally and you navigate those differences with clarity, nuance, and that adaptive judgment. And this model can help you make those adaptations. That's all we've got time for today for the Bookish Club for Leaders. Thank you for letting me share one of my all-time favourite books with you. We'd love to have you back next time for the Bookish Club for Leaders, third Thursday of the month, 12 o'clock UK time, talking about culture, leadership, books, and all things global. Please sign up to my email list. That would be great. If you like a lot of culture in your leadership, join our club.